Aston Martin Valkyrie versus the McLaren Solus GT. Which one is the better hypercar and which one is better at what both of them are designed for, which is track performance, and in general, which one is the better car? Well, in this video we're going to find that out. So we are going to be putting them against each other in these 5 different categories, which are powertrain, performance, design, track focus, and price. And any car that wins in a category will get 10 points, and if they draw, they get 5 points each. And by the end of the video, we are going to be summing up the individual points of each car to determine which one is the winner. But note that the judgment I'll be passing in this video are going to be based on my opinion, which I think is fair, but you also have a voice. So if there is anything you think I missed out in the video, let me know in the comment section down below at the end. And with that said, thank you for tuning in, and let's get started. And now, kicking off with the powertrain, starting with the McLaren Solus GT. It is powered by a 5.2-liter naturally aspirated V10 engine that makes 829 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. The power is sent to the rear wheels via a 7-speed sequential gearbox. On the other hand, we have the Aston Martin Valkyrie, which is powered by a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 engine mated to one electric motor, and altogether the system makes 1,139 horsepower and 682 pound-feet of torque. Also, the power is sent to the rear wheels via a 7-speed automated manual transmission. Both of these powertrains are very efficient and very consistent in power output and in power delivery, which we are going to be seeing in a bit from the performance. In terms of efficiency, we don't know much about fuel consumption, but in terms of power delivery and power output, both are very efficient, which, like I said, we are going to be seeing from the performance. And in terms of power output, the Valkyrie makes more power and more torque than the Solus GT. And in terms of which one will bring out more results, which one will outperform the other if put in a car, I think the Valkyrie will outperform. So for the overall best in this category, I'll call this one a win for the Valkyrie. And now, coming over to the performance, and mind you, these are acceleration performance, not track performance, and this is a place where the Valkyrie dominates. Although the stats on the Solus GT are not yet available, but these are what we have yet. So the Solus GT can do 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds and will max out at 200 miles per hour, while the Valkyrie will finish 0 to 60 in just 2.3 seconds. It can do 0 to 100 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds, finish a standing quarter mile in 7.7 seconds apparently, and will max out at 220 miles per hour. And this goes to show the difference between the capabilities of this powertrain. The Aston Martin Valkyrie has the better powertrain and in turn has the better performance, which outperforms the Solus GT, and for that reason it gets the win, and we can see that from the stats. So for the win in this category, performance, the win goes to the Aston Martin Valkyrie. And now, coming over to the design, which car has the better design, the Solus GT or the Valkyrie? Well, starting with the Solus GT. The Solus GT was first introduced back in 2017 as a car in the Vision Gran Turismo game, and 5 years later, McLaren decided to put it into production, which is the car we now have. The McLaren Solus GT looks really beautiful and extreme all at the same time. Everything from those front wheel covers, the sliding canopy that slides forward to allow access into the cockpit, those aerodynamic bits and pieces, the angles, the shapes, the huge wing at the back, the diffusers, the huge tunnel on the see-through underneath, everything is just beyond extreme. Everything is just astronomical. This is what we imagine cars to be in our dreams, and Aston Martin decided to put it into production. Like, it looks really beautiful and extreme, like all at the same time. On the inside, there is nothing much going on except for the fact that you have a single seat configuration, unlike the two you get from the Valkyrie. Also similar to that of F1 cars, you get a single seat configuration, and the interior size is made depending and according to the size of the customer buying them. You get a steering wheel with all the vehicles function on it, and in case you don't know, the Solus GT is a track-only hypercar, while the Aston Martin Valkyrie is road legal. And now, Coming over to the Aston Martin Valkyrie, it also looks really beautiful and has this aerodynamic curves and angles. The car is really low to the ground and very sleek. It cuts through the air very well. It had this see-through underneath with these two tunnels underneath looking at it from the back. On the inside, you get a two-seater configuration unlike the one you get in the Solus GT, and the cockpit is made according to the size of the customer. And in terms of which one looks better, both cars are really beautiful, and they really offer good value for their price in terms of design. So in terms of which one rocks in design, I'll give this one to both of them. So I'll call this one a draw because both cars looks really beautiful in the way they come in, and I can't say this one is better than the other in this regard. So for this round, I'll call it a draw. And now, coming over to track focus. Which one is more track focused and track oriented? Is it the Solus GT or the Valkyrie? Well, to declare the winner in this category, we are going to be considering 2 points, which are engineering behind the powertrain and engineering behind the design, which are a very good way to determine which one will outperform the other at the track and which one will do better overall. And now, engineering behind the powertrain, starting with the Solus GT. The Solus GT gets a bespoke engine, which is the 5.2 liter naturally aspirated V10 engine that makes 829 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. The power is sent to the rear wheels via a Le Mans prototype spec gearbox, which is a 7-speed sequential gearbox made with lightweight materials consisting of straight-cut gears with carbon fiber clutch, and both the engine and the gearbox are both stress members of the chassis. And in case you don't know, McLaren has a Formula 1 team, so everything on the car is built in Formula 1 spec. On the other hand, we have the Aston Martin Valkyrie, which, in case you don't know, is a product of the collaboration between Aston Martin and Red Bull Racing. And the Valkyrie being made by the best of the best in the business. We have people like Adrian Newey working in the project, and we all know that he is the Red Bull Racing's chief technical officer, the man that designed the RB19, which we all know is the most dominant car in F1 history. And not to mention that you have like top-notch companies coming to play a part in the making of the Valkyrie. We have companies like Cosworth, Ricardo, Alcon, Rimac, Multimatic, Integra Powertrain Limited, and all these companies coming together to play a part in the making of the Valkyrie. We shouldn't expect anything less of extreme performance. The Valkyrie is powered by an engine supplied by Cosworth, which is the 6.5 liter naturally aspirated V12 engine that makes 1000 horsepower and redlined at 11,500 rpm, while the Solus GT redlines at 10,000 rpm. The electric motor was supplied from Integra Powertrain Limited, and the battery was supplied from Rimac with a boost system similar to that of F1 cars, and Bosch supply the ECU. And now, engineering behind the design, starting with the Valkyrie. Being built by some of the best in the business, you have people like Adrian Newey working in the project, and you have like companies like Multimatic and WePack supplying the parts for the design. You shouldn't expect anything less of extreme performance, like I said earlier. The plan was to make the car as aerodynamic and as light as possible, and that's why most of the parts are made with lightweight materials, mainly out of carbon fiber. And at the end, they ended up with the car just weighing over 1,000 kilograms at 1,030 kilograms or 2,271 pounds, beating the intended 1:1 power to weight ratio with 1,126 horsepower per ton. As for the aerodynamics, looking at the body design, you know that aero efficiency is the main priority there. The body was built in a way to help increase downforce, reduce as much drag as possible, and allow air flow. And at the end, they ended up with the car generating over 1,100 kilograms of downforce at 137 miles per hour, and that's not even the top speed. Like, this car is generating a much more downforce greater than the total weight of the car at top speed. Like, that's really crazy. And even the suspension arms were built in a way to help increase aero efficiency on the car. And speaking of suspension, the car comes with an adaptive suspension to help balance the car at top speed and help cornering. And this car is the only car closest to being an F1 car. If you want a car that feels like an F1 car, this is the car really close to that. On the other hand, we have the McLaren Solus GT, also being built by the best of the best in the business, bearing in mind that McLaren also has a Formula 1 team, and those knowledge they've gathered over the years, they implemented some in the making of the Solus GT. And also weight reduction and lightweight is also the plan here, and that's why they ended up with the car just weighing 1000 kilograms. That's 30 kilograms lighter than the Valkyrie. The design is also built to maximize airflow and maximize aero efficiency and downforce, and also reducing as much drag as possible, although built in a very crazy way. Like, I love the design, but it's really extreme. I doubt that aerodynamic was the main focus there. Design is there and aerodynamics is there. So in terms of aerodynamics, the car really has it. It has this aerodynamic pads and curves. It has this huge tunnel underneath. It has this massive twin element rear wing, a large diffuser at the back, and at the end they ended up with the car generating over 1200 kilograms of downforce at top speed, and it comes with double wishbone suspension with adjustable dampers, and overall the car is really built for the track. And both of these cars are really close to being an F1 cars. You get the single seat experience which you don't get in the Valkyrie, similar to that of F1 cars, and both of these cars are really track focused and track oriented, and they are the cars really close to being an F1 cars. And in terms of which one is better at track focus, from all this data and all this information we've seen, the Valkyrie is going to be the better. And if these two cars were to compete against each other at a track, the Valkyrie is going to come out the winner. So that's why it gets the win in track focus. So for the win in this category, I'll give this one to the Aston Martin Valkyrie. And now, lastly, is the price. The Aston Martin Valkyrie has a starting price of $3.5 million, and Aston Martin made 150 units of the Valkyrie, and they're all sold out. And the Solus GT has a starting price of $4 million, and McLaren only made 25 units of it, and they're also all sold out. So, to declare the winner in this category, we are going to be judging this round based on value for money. Which car offers the best value for the price point? And the car with the best value for money here is the Aston Martin Valkyrie. Why? For up to $500,000 less, you're getting the Valkyrie, which is not only more powerful than the Solus GT, it has the better powertrain, it has the better performance, and it has the better technology, and also you get the two-seater experience, so you can take passengers along with you. Not that the Solus GT is a bad car, it offers that really good value, and it offers you that single seat experience which is similar to that of F1 cars, but comparing it to the Valkyrie, it seems like you're paying way more for way less, and that's not good. So in terms of which one offers the more value for the price point here, I'll have to say the Aston Martin Valkyrie. And now, finally, we are going to be summing up the individual points of these cars to determine which one is the winner. Starting with the Solus GT, it's only tied in design with the Valkyrie, giving it a total of 5 points, and the Valkyrie won in powertrain, performance, track focus, price, and tied in design with the Solus GT, giving it a total point of 45. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have the winner. The winner is the Aston Martin Valkyrie, and it tops over the Solus GT as the better hypercar overall. Look guys, it doesn't mean that the Solus GT is a bad hypercar. Like, I'll go as far as to say that you feel more like an F1 driver in the Solus GT than in the Aston Martin Valkyrie. But comparing it against the Valkyrie, it's not going to do that better, but it all comes down to personal preference. If you like the Solus GT, go for the Solus GT, and if you like the Valkyrie, go for the Valkyrie. It all comes down to personal preference. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let me know which car you go for, and let me know if there's anything I missed out in the video. And that brings us on to the end of the video, guys. If you like the video, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this, and let me know if there's any matchup you want to see on the channel. Share the video with your friends and family if you think they're going to like it. And with all that said, thank you for tuning in and thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out and stay safe.